You mentioned several infrastructure and you explained how it integrates Cambodia within ASEAN with this infrastructure. But could you elaborate on the specific challenges Cambodia faces in implementing these infrastructure projects and how the government plans to address them to ensure timely and efficient completion? I'll give you an example. Recently, we opened the new airport in Siem Reap. And as you know, it was a difficult transition, and the public sector have voiced their concern many times. So maybe we can start with that and then and move through other infrastructure and the challenges that we might face. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the question. The challenge for the government of Cambodia or for any government around the world for infrastructure development is the funding. It's extremely important to get the funding. And you need to balance between using your own national budget or you borrow from the wrong partners, you borrow from the World Bank, from ADB, from other sources, or you get the private sector to invest. So in Cambodia, we rely mainly from our wrong partners, i.e. China, Japan, Korea, World Bank, ADB. We also get some funding from Vietnam, build one road, from Thailand also. So the difficult part is to find the funding to build infrastructure. Now, is it difficult to find the qualified staff? I don't think that's that difficult. Because if the project financed by the development partner, let's say by JICA, you have Japanese company that will bid for it. China, you have a Chinese company will do. Korea, same thing. The World Bank. We have our own staff that work together with a consultant to ensure the quality of the infrastructure that we are building. So again, back to funding is important. Some countries cannot borrow the fund because they all exceed the limit. But in Cambodia, like I mentioned to you, our debt to GDP ratio is less than 40%. So we have the ability to borrow more to invest in the infrastructure projects. Now, the project that's important to, all projects are important, but the project that link Cambodia to our neighboring country, the route number 7 to Laos, route number 5, route number 6 to Thailand, route number 1, expressway to Vietnam, that to increase regional trade is important. Also, to integrate our country together. You know, after the war and destruction of 30 years, Cambodia need to rebuild all the infrastructure, need to reconnect between the capital city of Phnom Penh to the provincial capital, and between provincial capital and to provincial capital by paved road, not dirt road. And that what we did. Our first phase of our infrastructure development is to build the paved road first. Even though we use thin layer of asphalt, we did that first. But now let's go to the second phase by expanding or enlarging from 2 lane to 4 lane, by moving from DBHT to asphalt concrete, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's extremely important. I talked about road, but port is extremely important for us. Sinawil Port handles 60% of our trade volume, and that's why we invest close to $1 billion to expand that port in Sinawil. Now, there's one project that I have not mentioned to you. This would be a game-changer project for inland waterway transport in Cambodia. Cambodia is blessed with Mekong River, Tlê Sap, Basak, Sekong, Sesan, Sraipok, etc. But we have not using our natural resource to the maximum because it's very difficult. When we ship through the inland waterway, we had to go through the third country. Obviously, when you go to third country, you got to respect rule and regulation of the country, the immigration, the custom, and so on and so forth, the procedures. But we are planning to build a project called Funan Daeju Canal that will link our inland waterway to the deep sea port of Cambodia. That will save close to 200 kilometers, the distance, so save time, save cost, and also save in the administrative procedure at the border. So it's important, this project. So our Prime Minister, our former Prime Minister, our Prime Minister Hun Manet today also expressed a very strong commitment to proceed with this project. And this project, I want to inform you that we started this project 26 months in detail to ensure there is no environmental impact in Cambodia and the neighboring country. 26 months using drone, using satellite, data, simulation, all kinds of study, okay? And this project, the framework agreement has been signed in October last year. So we are working together with the private company to complete the detailed FS that will lead to the negotiation of the concession agreement to start this project, hopefully sometime this year. So that I just want to make sure that everybody recognize this. This project is 180 kilometers, but 180 kilometers does not mean we dig canal of 180 kilometers. We will dig 7 kilometers only. The rest is our existing canal, full of water. And these canals were used during the kingdom of Funan 2,000 years ago. So it's nothing, but it's a canal. Oh, you guys dig a canal, 180 kilometers. No, it's not true. Canal is there. We dig 7 kilometers. So the zigzag in cap, we make it straight. That's all. Because I need to make sure that everybody understand this. We will not divert the water from the Mekong River as what the newspaper. Lately, a lot of newspapers have been written on the article on this one. I can tell you that we run our simulation, did the study. There's no diversion of the water from the Mekong River to this canal because we will have 3 locks on this canal. So there's no water, fresh water get out to the sea, and there's no salt water come through the canal back to the fresh water. So just want to ensure everybody on this project because it's extremely important, not only for Cambodia, but for the region as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. Funding. You said we need fundings. The financial markets integrity is paramount in attracting and securing foreign investment. Excellency Susotiet, could you elucidate on the measures the Security and Exchange Regulator of Cambodia is implementing to fortify this transparency and robustness? How does these efforts align with Cambodia's vision to become an attractive investment hub within the ASEAN landscape?
Thank you very much, Arno, for the question, and my respect to Deputy Prime Minister, Minister, and Excellency Lady and gentlemen. To start to answer the question from Arno, I just want to highlight that to build this market, regulator not work alone. We need to work with the operator, we need to work with the participant on the market, the auditor, lawyer, the bank, and I want to confirm you that whether is Cambodia is youngest market in the ASEAN, but we have almost top 10 auditors that work in our market. We have a total number of right now 22 companies that listed in Cambodia Security Exchange, and the 22 companies raised almost $400 million from the market right now, And we have granted license approval as well as accreditation to more than 100 firms to conduct business or provide services in security sector. In 2023 and 2024, we also provided the accreditation to the Cambodia Association of Security Firms and the Security Investor Association of Cambodia. And just early this year, start from last year, we also granted approval to one company that just joined what we call the Digital Security Sandbox of SERC. And this Digital Security Sandbox is providing a platform to trade a digital asset, but we allow only what we call the high net worth investor or qualified investor only to join this new market. And to ensure a robust and transparent security market, our regulator, we have been preparing a lot of regulation. We have 2 laws for security sector. We have more than 100 regulations have been adopted for our market. SERC is also one of the members of the ISCO. And ISCO is the International Association of Regulators around the world. That right now, ISCO have more than 120 members. SERC has a clear role which to regulate, supervise, and develop the security market. And we need to ensure the compliance with the law, regulation, and standard. All of this, we need to oversee the security issuer, intermediary, market infrastructure. And we also work to protect the interests of investors by promoting transparency, integrity, and fairness in the security market. As the product in the market, we have right now the stock, we have the bond, we have the fund, we have the derivative, and we just put in place the product as we call the product in the fintech era. As talking by our Prime Minister this morning that we engage in the new era of digital. So that's why we start to adopt what we call the sandbox regulatory. And we have one firm that called OGX that just joined our regulatory sandbox to provide, the new product in terms of digital area. In terms of investor education and protection, SERC invests a lot in capacity building and training program for industry stakeholders to enhance their understanding of regulatory requirement, compliance obligation, and the best practice. By equipping security firm and listed company investors with the necessary knowledge and skill, we support their ability to navigate the regulatory landscape and contribute to the development of a robust financial market. We also collaborate with the industry stakeholders to conduct the investor education and outreach activity aimed to raising awareness about the security market, promotion on the financial literacy, inclusivity, and empowering investors to make the informed decision. In regional and international collaboration, SERC is one of the members of what we call the ASEAN Capital Market Forum, ACMS. ACMS is the high-level grouping of capital market regulators from all 10 ASEAN jurisdictions. And this forum allows us to share, to inform, to experience, and to work together on the best practice related to the financial market. And we can help each other. And I always use 3 words that we always share with our regulator in the ASEAN, that one is we work together, second is we learn from each other, and the third one, we grow together in capital market. And SERC used to be the share of ACMS in 2022. And this year is our college, the Lao Security is the share of the ACMS. SERC work with all relevant regional and international partners like ADB, GGGI, UNESCAP, or World Bank, in order to make sure that all regulation, all the infrastructure that we put in place is go aligned with all the best practice across the world. So the future outlook for Cambodia capital market, whether if we are the youngest market in ASEAN, but the outlook is promising, driven by regulatory reform, infrastructure investment, emerging sector, regional integration, and the effort to promote the financial inclusion. Now we have regulation, and we keep working with development partner to build better security market infrastructure and develop new product. We will continue to promote the new digital product or services which use DLT or blockchain technology through our digital security sandbox. We also adopt the regulation related to digital asset and peer-to-peer financing with the collaboration with all line ministry. Now the market appears optimistic as the need for robust, efficient, and secure system continue to grow. Opportunity lie in enhancing trading platform, implementing the blockchain technology for the secure transaction. By leveraging this opportunity, I strongly believe that we could commit and we could drive the new innovation for the better competition in the security market. And we could also provide all the need of investors and key stakeholders that want to explore the investment in Cambodia capital market. So my last word just only that we welcome Cambodia capital market, we welcome all the investors from the ASEAN country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, I'd like to underscore the importance of this stock market for also local company to raise capital. And an important part of the stock market is to, and what companies and potential investors are looking for, is for predictability. It means they need to know and they need to be certain that if they are under the law, everything will be fine, their reputation can grow, the investment can grow as well. And I'm saying this because as a co-chair of Working Group D, I have the opportunity to discuss with officials of the General Department of Taxation and Ministry of Economy and Finance of challenges that companies are facing. And predictability in tax they are paying are sometimes challenged by the private sector. Therefore, Excellency Convibo, I'd like to talk about taxation that is not just a financial mechanism, but a pivotal tool for economic development and investment attraction. Can you discuss the recent taxation reforms and how they are designed to cultivate a more conducive business environment, thereby enhancing Cambodia's appeal to both regional and international investors? Excellency.
Thank you, Arnold, for the question. First of all, let me pay my respect to the Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chantol and the first Vice Chairman of CDC, Oknya Kitmain, Oknya, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me to sit here today by Oknya Kitmain to talk about tax. Talking about taxation, I think it's really, we are working closely every day with the business people. Excellency Sun Chantol, he's the one who attracting investment to Cambodia, and he sent those investors to register a company here, a tax registration and so on. So we had to deal friendly as Excellency Sun Chantol did. So we had to look after the business in Cambodia. Over the past 12 years, as you can see, the revenue, what we collect is just a few $100 million. At the moment, we collect billions of dollars without a deep reform, a commitment from the royal government Cambodia set in the rectangular strategy public financial reform, revenue mobilization strategy. I think without those reforms, the revenue we should not be collected as of today. But we also, as Excellency Sun Chantol mentioned, that investment law is one of the attractive law in ASEAN. Over the past 10 years, we are working closely with the private sector to gathering all the information, all the input from the private sector. And we draft a new taxation law to align with the investment law. Because investment law, they provide incentive. Taxation law don't state anything, so we have to follow the law, taxation law. That's why last year, the government and the National Assembly managed to adopt the new taxation law to go along the line with the investment law. On the top of that, in the policy reform, we are strengthening the good governance, transparency, the efficiency to collect the revenue. Like Mr. Anodak said, that the predictability is very important for the investor. We are trying to work hard on that to interpret the law and regulation to be more transparent, to be more predictability. And on the top of that, our taxation general department working very well with those working groups in which we are under the umbrella of the working group D, Law, Taxation and Governance, in which co-chaired by our Deputy Prime Minister, Onpon Ninirat, Minister of Finance, and Mr. Anodak from the private sector. We discuss openly, friendly with the private sector, any difficulty, any loopholes that you want to comment, want to give us information, want us to be more predictability. I think we are working very well on those private sector and also the working group D. So taxation, one side, we trying to be more predictability, transparency. Also, we are working so hard to improve our compliance also. So both just to protect the good investor, to be in the level of fair playing field. So it's no point of allowing those who are not compliant to compete with those who are non-compliant. So we have to be fair to the person or company who complies also. So we try to promote a fair playing field as well. So like you mentioned, Arnold, is very important for the company who doing business in Cambodia, in which to be more predictability, transparency as well. At the same time, on the revenue mobilization strategy, we are working on the core function to reform. First, we want to improve a business registration. Now we go online registration in which we connected with CAMDX registration without any difficulty to register. We are working on providing a better, good taxpayer service as well. For example, we set up a most friendly call center. We set up it used to be people carrying a bag of money to waiting for a payment. Now we set up e-filing services. We have set up an e-payment services. So to make life easy for investor to pay tax, the most transparent way of paying tax as well. So as Excellency Chantal mentioned that you have the most friendly, generous investment law. So taxation law recently had reformed those along the line with investment law as well. So we do everything that we work together. We want to improve the business environment. We are open to talk about difficulty in implementing of taxation law, implementing of investment law. So we are open with talking. Even we set a monthly meeting with the private sector from various sections. For example, on the 8th of this April, I will meet again with the private sector to talk about the remaining and outstanding issue about taxation law. So about taxation implementing. For example, about the audit process, about the transfer pricing, about the so many areas that we need to discuss. So far, I would like to say that 47 issues that raised by the private sector, we solved 44 issues already. Only 3 remaining issues that we continue to work together. So we are open and friendly also, not only investment agency, but also the tax general department also. We try to work together with the private sector. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Excellency. Indeed, the General Department of Taxation have increased their revenue year after year. Recently, I've seen a graphic you showed during a tax forum, and I share with you my surprise to see the budget for this year increasing while the private sector is still not feeling the growth and expect to see some improvement. Another part of the tax collection, I think there is a natural tax that are paid naturally by the enterprises, but there's also the penalties, the fine imposed on those enterprises after their audit. Looking at attracting investors and attracting compliant company who will evolve in a formal economy, I think it's important that this environment of taxation give more confidence. And predictability, as you mentioned several times, is an important part. Visibility for every company that follow the rules, not to be surprised after an audit to be fined because of different interpretation from the government official. Another revenue generator is what's at the border of our country. Efficient customs and excise processes are the lifelines of trade facilitation. In your view, Excellency Dr. Khun Neem, how is your department innovating and streamlining these processes to boost cross-border trade efficiency? How do these improvements contribute to Cambodia's strategic positioning as a trade and investment hub within ASEAN? Excellency.
Thank you very much, Agno. First of all, I would like to pay my respect to Excellency Deputy Prime Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and all participants. Thank you for the question. I think you understand that, as you mentioned, the General Department of Customs and Excise of Cambodia main responsibility is to collect revenue for the government budget. But at the same time, we have the responsibility to implement government policies, initiatives, and measures, as well as regional and international commitment regarding trade facilitation. And I hope you understand that trade facilitation is very important. It's not only to facilitate trade itself, but also to create the environment to boost investment as well. So here I would like to highlight several initiatives or measures that the GDCE has put in place in order to support trade facilitation. In the last few decades, few years, the GDCE has embarked a comprehensive reform programs aiming at simplifying and streamline customs procedures. So first of the aim is to apply the information and communication technology in customs work. And here I would like to mention about one system that has been deployed in Cambodia since 2008. That's the Asikuda system. That all the import, export, and transit declaration are lodged and processed through this system. I think you know that Asikuda system is the tool developed by UNCTAD and is being implemented around 100 countries and territories in the world. These systems help a lot in terms of the cutting processes, simplifying procedures for traders. From the implementation in 2008 until now, we work hard in order to improve. It's not only the system itself, but we add additional function to support trade. At the end of 2023, and particularly in the start of 2024, I would like to touch upon key improvement in the system. That is the eliminate of steps in the Asikuda process, and also the acceptance of attached document in electronic format. No requirement for printing and submitting of hard copy. So we are moving to digital or electronic environment. And furthermore, we also integrated the customs violation system, risk management, and electronic payment. I would like to add a few words on electronic payment. I think you understand that electronic payment is very important because it's fast, secure, and transparent. So we established the interface or link between the customs system with the bank partner, commercial bank system for the internet and mobile banking. Currently, we have 8 commercial banks that link the system for the e-payment. I think these electronic payment help a lot in terms of customs collection also because it is transparent and it is fast. And for the trader, it's security. Another initiative that being implemented is the national single window. I think we understand that and we know that in ASEAN we have ASEAN single window agreement. So we have commitment to develop and implement our national single window. Currently, we are in phase 3 of the implementation of the national single window project. and we have 11 government agencies and ministries participating in this project. National Single Window is the portal, electronic portal or systems for traders to apply for license, permit, certificate of origin before they can actually do import or export. And the license permit issue in the National Single Window automatically transferred to the customs Asiguda system for import and export processing. Here I would like to mention that our National Single Window is connected with the ASEAN Single Window. Based on the ASEAN agreement on the single window, each member state have to develop national single window. And all 10 national single window of ASEAN member state connected together to form an ASEAN single window, under which countries can exchange important document, trade document, say for example, exchange the certificate, electronic certificate of origin form D, and now ASEAN member state try to exchange the ASEAN Customs Declaration, which is very important to speed up the clearance process, because export from one member state is the import of another state within ASEAN. So by transmitting information in advance through the ASEAN single window will speed up the process, the clearance process when the shipment arrive at the country of import. Another IT tool that we are employed is the pre-arrival processing. The GDCE is implementing pre-arrival processing that allow traders to start the clearance process before the arrival of goods. Shipping lines, customs brokers may apply pre-arrival processing by lodging available trade documents in electronic format before the arrival of goods. This helps traders to reduce delay, minimizing time spent at the port, and save cost and expedite clearance process. Another one system is the risk management. We are implementing a risk management system to identify high-risk consignment using risk assessment criteria and technique. By focusing resources on high-risk consignment, the GDCE can accelerate the clearance of low-risk shipment, thereby improving overall trade efficiency. In addition to reduce physical intervention and inspection on high-risk consignment, and based on the risk management, we also utilize non-intrusive inspection equipment. Currently, the GDCE has installed 17 X-ray scanning machines. Of those 17, we have 8 container scanning machines that we deploy to major custom checkpoints and offices. In order to support high compliant traders and to encourage self-compliance, the GDCE has put into implementation what we call it best trader incentive mechanism and authorized economic operator programs. The BTIM and the EEO are trusted traders with high compliance records and who met certain criteria, for example, specific security criteria, and they are entitled to enjoy simplified custom procedures, for example, waiver of inspection, priority lanes at custom checkpoint, self-assessments in terms of customs violation, and classification declaration, etc. We are in the process of working with other customs administration in order to work out what we call the MRA, the mutual recognition arrangement, because authorized economic operator recognized in Cambodia, we will send the list of our AO to partner country as well. So our AO, when they export to our partner country, will enjoy special treatment when their shipment arrive. And last but not least, I would like to mention that we are open and we are working closely with the private sector. We have established what we call it the customs private sector partnership mechanism. And here I'm pleased to mention that Nek Ong Nya Ket Meng is my co-chair of this mechanism. We organize regularly consultative meeting, and sometimes we call it customs forum. Yeah, we meet with Eurosam. I know that at that time play important role in Eurosam. We meet with other business association, including GBAC, including ASEAN EU Business Council, ASEAN US Business Council, and other. I think this is very important mechanism for not only for listening to the concern, to the problems encountered by the private sector, but also to provide the awareness of the new regulation pertaining to trade. And I think this mechanism proved successful because we can discuss and we resolve many issues for the private sector. So in summary, the above measures and programs collectively contribute to enhancing and improving business climate in general, and in particular promote cross-border trade efficiency and effectiveness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Excellency. The Government-Private Sector Forum is a mechanism that works in Cambodia, as Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chantol mentioned in his keynote address. Cambodia is one of the best countries singled out by the World Bank in using this mechanism. As one of the actors with Nek Ong Nya Ket Meng, the Cambodia Chamber of Commerce, being the coordinator for the whole private sector, I take this opportunity to call on also all members of the private sector to trust this mechanism, to work with us, because as you see today, we ask difficult questions, we have a very open discussion with the government official, and we do this every month in each working group. But I think this GPSF, the Government Private Sector Forum, deserves more attention from us, the private sector. I include myself in it, and I encourage everyone here to use those working groups to engage in more dialogue with the government, because it works indeed. So thank you very much for my esteemed colleague and officer with your answers and my questions. And I'd like to open question now to the floor, to the public. And please take the opportunity to ask questions to any of our panelists here. The floor is yours. Please. I see a gentleman, third row, raising the hand.
Hello, and thank you for being here. And I'm thankful that all of you all are here in one place so I can ask very direct questions. The question that I have for you is, we are undertaking a lot of debt by building up infrastructure, roads, rail, all these things, right? So this is going to cost us a lot of money, right? And at some point, this investment has to be paid back. Okay, given that the investment has to be paid back, when I look at the numbers, it kind of is skewed because the real estate market, as you know, represents, and the construction business represents about 40% of the GDP. So we are concerned because we don't want to be caught in a debt trap, right? There is also a high cost of borrowing. There is also NPAs and the bank asset sheets that show a lot of non-performing assets. There are also a lot of consumer debt. These are concerns that an investor would have. We do not want to be in a debt trap. And since we got the revenue side of the business here, we've got the investment side of the business here, we need some investor confidence from your panel, because I think it's a very distinguished panel here. And these are concerns that I have to address, because we've seen other countries going through a certain phase. I particularly see in South Africa, when I invested at $6 to a dollar, is now 18 Rand to a dollar. So these are concerns that I have to have in any economy. So that's my question to you, whether we are heading towards that, or is there certain things that would mitigate this risk? The population of Cambodia is about 16 million. There are about 500,000 taxpayers. Yes, the economy is growing. There are certain sectors that are doing quite well. But businesses, as I understand it, and I am a business here, we are facing a lot of challenges, and we need government support, and we need the confidence of government to go out there and get the business that we need, so that we can sustain our business. So that's the question I have to ask you, which is relevant to your panel and everything. There are very few private sector businesses that are doing well. There are a lot of challenges in the economy. We know that the real estate industry is heading a little south, not as bad as China, but we know there are risks here, and that could really tailor it to a problem with the economy. So this is a question I just want to have the investor confidence with you all.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for asking. I think your worries are shared by a number of people here. I wish someone from the Ministry of Economy and Finance be present here, but fortunately, His Excellency Sun Chantol is willing to answer in depth, I hope. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question and your concern on the debt to GDP ratio. As I mentioned, that in Cambodia, our ratio is less than 40%, around 30+%, okay? That what is the lowest in the world. And this debt mainly borrow to invest in the productive projects that will generate economic growth. So that is good, okay? So we have a lot more room. So I wouldn't be too worried that Cambodia will fall into the debt trap at all. Without those investments, you wouldn't see 7% GDP growth per annum for the last 20 years. Impossible. Impossible. So still, the Ministry of Economy and Finance managed this debt extremely, extremely well. If the project does not generate at least a minimum of EIRR, economic internal return of minimum 12%, there's no way they will give you the money to invest in the projects, okay? Cambodia government also doesn't guarantee any project. We have $2 billion project, Phnom Penh Siem Reap Expressway on a BOT. Not a dollar is guaranteed by our government. So no sovereign guarantee. You're on your own. You must study to ensure that financial internal return is good for you before you invest. That's why $2 billion for that expressway, $1.3 billion for Phnom Penh to Bavet, $4 billion Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, 1.7 billion for canal project on BOT or PPP. Okay, so that we just not going to just borrow and build white elephant projects. We want, you know, if you look at debt to GDP ratio, I don't know if you know some of the number. I throw a number at you. Japan, 264%. Sudan, 186. Singapore, 168%. United States, 129%. Cambodia, around 30%, sir. So don't be too worried. I would be willing to borrow more. Borrow now. Build the infrastructure in order to generate 7-8% economic growth every single year. Thank you.
Excellency, if I may come back on the question of the gentleman, I think the worry, the numbers you mentioned are correct, but there is numbers shown by the World Bank which shows the debt of the citizen, which is much higher than that. As you know, a lot of private people have borrowed money from banks to invest in development. And this ratio is way over the GDP. It means Cambodia is the second highest country with that debt after China, I think. If I remember well, the ratio is over 100% of GDP, 184%, and I think that's what you're referring to, and it worries everyone.
Okay, I shouldn't speak on behalf of MEF, okay, or Central Bank of Cambodia, but I focus on the infrastructure investment, okay? And so the debt to GDP ratio, that all the borrowing that we borrow to invest in the infrastructure project. And every single year in our law, we cannot borrow whatever you want. There's a law that limits how much we can borrow every year to invest in infrastructure project. And it's extremely important. And that's why so the source of funding will be from our budget, our borrowing external debt, and also from the BOT. Look, we will not put $2 billion for Phnom Penh Sihanouk Village Expressway. We will not put $1.7 billion for canal. But the investor feel that they can generate financial and technical return. So we encourage the private sector to do the investment on the BOT or on the PPP projects, so that allow us the ability to borrow, to invest in other area, healthcare, in education, irrigation, electricity. That's important. Which country doesn't owe anybody money in this whole world? Maybe only one, maybe Brunei doesn't owe people money, but the rest owe people money. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. I'd like to return to the floor. Any question? Yes, the lady with the white jacket in the back.
Thank you, Arnold.
Thank you.
My question is focusing on the customs clearance to His Excellency Dr. Kunlun. We are the investors from China. As we all know, from last year, GDC is promoting AEO program. But AEO program is so new, so we meet many questions, challenges, and confusions on how to apply AEO. So your kind attention and support is highly appreciated. So could the GDC release some specific guideline for investors how to apply for AEO? Or after the meeting, may I get your assistant's contact window who can help us clarify all the questions and help us to speed up the AEO application? Because AEO is quite essential to provide the investors all the facilities. Thank you, and happy Khmer New Year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kuning.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question. Well, authorized economic operator in Cambodia is in the early stage. And I think you understand that AO program developed based on the World Customs Organization framework of standards. It's arising from the security concerns. As I mentioned that traders, investors, and other stakeholders that comply with certain criteria, and mainly the security criteria, may be considered for the application to become an AEO. As I mentioned that we currently have started AO only 2024 in this year, and we are working to identify our partners, I mean customs partner, where we can engage in the discussion to conclude the MRA, the mutual recognition arrangement. And for the EO in Cambodia, EO program, we organize several awareness sessions for the trader. I don't know why your company didn't send someone to attend the program. And we established the EO unit in the GDCE. So we are open and we are ready to support you. You can send your representative to get more information from the GDCE concerning the procedure to become an AO. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other question on tax maybe, on the stock market? Don't be afraid. Please. Yes. In the back. I know you.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, for a fantastic presentation and talking about how the Royal Government of Cambodia is keen and motivated to engage with the business community and the reform that is happening in Cambodia. I would be very keen to hear from His Excellency Kong Vibol on his message to investors coming to Cambodia on how they can be confident in the tax reform in Cambodia. I know he's driven huge reforms since he took office in roughly 2013. And what would his message be for incoming investors to Cambodia? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question, Excellency Kong Vibol.
Thank you so much for the question. As I mentioned in my previous answer to your question, we have done so many reforms to make tax more predictable, more transparency, more efficiency, for make life easy for investor. I'm working closely with the Council of Development Cambodia to improve the business environment as well. For example, talking about investment registration, so we are working well with the CDC. We try to promote a single registration. So we are now working also with the private sector to be more transparent in terms of regulation. For example, the new law, we need to issue a number of sub-decree and the PRACA from the Ministry of Economy and Finance. Recently, there are 3 sub-decree issued by the Prime Minister and 7 PRACA following the law on taxation. We try everything to be along the line with investment law. So, talking about taxation, people also talking about some is non-predictability. There are some cases, I must say, that's not defined well in the regulation. We are working very well with the private sector. For example, I'm the co-chair also with Oknya Sokpiset, working very well in terms of clarifying any doubt of any regulation, clarifying any implementing of the tax law. So we are working closely. So all those potential investors or existing investors. Oknya Kutming is also the chairman of Chamber of Commerce. Arnold Dak is a co-chair of the working group D. I'm also the co-chair of private sector and taxation. We are working closely with the Eurocham, with the JBAC, JETRO, with the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, with all other Chamber of Commerce to work to improve the implementation of the tax law to be more transparent, to be more predictability and transparency. So over the past years, we have been reformed. Also on the tax administration reform, as you know well, we are one of the leading reform institutions in terms of IT, modernization. We transform manually basis, filing, filling form, buying form to fill in. Now everything is online. We go a long way with other ASEAN and regional tax administration. We want to implement, to do everything along the line with the ASEAN tax administration and the regional tax administration. We are working very well with the SCATA study group of the tax administration. We are working group with FTA to promote our tax administration in terms of IT from tax administration 1.0, everything is on manual, to 2.0 and to 3.0. It's fully integrated. So when we are 2.0, at the moment we try to aim to 2.0 and 2.5 at the moment in terms of modernization of the tax administration. Now, developed countries like China, Japan, Korea, they are moving to the 3.0, everything fully integrated. I'm working also now on the blockchain to provide a better service. In terms of modernization of the tax administration, we are one of the leading also. We want to go along the line with the other tax administration in ASEAN. So please, we are open to talk. And any difficulty, any challenges, talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. It's 3:30. I'm looking at the president of the CCC. Should we take one more question, or should I close the session? One more question from the floor. Yes, the lady in the back.
I would like to thank all the Excellency for sharing the vision on Cambodia, and also thank you for allowing us asking our questions. So I'm taking all my courage to raise my questions. So what kind of action a company can still have after many years of challenging with the GDT, finding an agreement with the GDT using a law service company, a local one, and after the agreement and the payment, the audits continue. Sorry.
What is your question?
So what kind of action can we still have after agreement with the GDT, payment, and the audit didn't stop?
So let me clarify. You've been through an audit process.
Yes.
You've done a payment
Yes.
of the fine.
Yes, the agreement with the law firm, because we didn't deal directly with the GDT. We use a local law firm to do
Yes.
it. And we signed a contract with this law firm. We gave the power of attorney at the law firm to negotiate on our behalf. And despite the payment and the agreement, the tax audit didn't stop.
Yes. So you didn't get closure.
No.
On the Excellency, I think that's for you.
Yes. We are at the moment,
I see.
we are working to set up a proper SOP to take measure on how we going to conduct the audit, in which now at the Ministry of Economy and Finance, we don't want to conduct the audit. For example, in the past, there are some companies, our tax official, we conduct an audit, let's say, limited audit, comprehensive audit, and desk audit. So somehow, they have 3 audits a year. But now we try to reform and cut down those audits from 3 audits a year to 1 or even 2, up to 3 years. So you don't have any difficulty. It's now the SOP is on the Ministry of Economy and Finance desk to get approval. It has to be both compliant. If you are compliant, we do the assessment, risk assessment, audit. Somehow you don't face any audit at all because we see you are compliant already. We don't need to waste time for the audit. Somehow you're facing maybe 3 times a year, because we keep seeing repeating a mistake. A desk audit and limited audit is to provide a correctness early, not to leave it too long. Otherwise you will get so many penalty and interest, very heavy. So, but now we reform on audit. You question that when you conclude the audit, is still the audit going on. The audit, if you keep repeating a mistake, we continue to comply, because we are the law enforcer. We don't want to tax you more than you pay that by the law. I would like to say, if you're not happy with the audit process, by law, we have to write an appeal to the Director General of GDT. If the Director General agree and you provide proof that you should not be assessed like this, or the Director General will reassess you through a proper way. If the Director General not agree with your appeal, their appeal process to the committee, what they call tax dispute committee, in which led by Deputy Prime Minister. If the committee decide whatever they find out, you agree, even though I don't agree with the decision, I have to agree based on the committee decide. So you have more privilege than me. So you accept it or not. If you don't accept it, the committee decide the final decision, you can go to appeal in court. So there's 3 ways of appealing. If you don't agree, you're not happy, don't complain to the other people other than the Director General or Ministry of Economy and Finance, or to the court. If you don't agree with that, talk to your firm, because some firms are also not acting as your auditor advisor, acting as a lawyer. It's just to make sure you win, even though they know your mistake, right? In some of the firm here. But please, I'm trying to implement whatever the law said, and also try to implement whatever of a tax administration friendly, open. You are welcome to talk to me anytime. No problem at all. We open through the channel, the private sector, working group D, or to the private sector government forum also. So thank you. I hope you get my answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Nekoknya, I have one more question. I need your authorization before I give the floor back. In the back, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Nari from a local service private sector. Thanks for panelists today and all participants for the event. It's very useful, and my gratitude to all of you. I'm not going to ask a question, but because no one say, I'm going to say, well done everyone, Excellencies. On behalf of Cambodia, you did a good job. Look back. Look back to before COVID and during COVID. And after COVID, we have a war between Russia and Ukraine. And we have fell into a situation of economic problem. What did we do? We keep going, we keep fighting. Cambodia has changed a lot of things. I'm from Siem Reap province, and I was married with a guy from Sihanoukville. So I noticed Sihanoukville has become very booming, like Hong Kong, and beautiful. Now we increase not just international tourism, but local tourism for both locations and other provinces as well. So this is a new image of Cambodia. And I want to appreciate for all of you that have tried your best and reached to all of this up to today. I also have a few things to say, to suggest at the end, but I really want to say thank you, my appreciation to Excellency, especially also Mr. Excellency Kong Vibol. Since you handle taxation, you have modernized new technologies, changings, you have tried your best, and I know this is a lot of challenge that facing on this kind of thing because tech topic is very hot. And my suggestion is we have built a new road everywhere, and we need lightning because driving at night is very dark and dangerous. So I didn't suggest this morning to the Excellency on energies, So I really suggest if we can have a really lightning on this big road and beautiful road. So we will bring Cambodia even more beautiful at night when we are on the sky. All right, we have a tall building. And Excellency Kongvibol, I suggest also, because we just recovered from COVID, we're suffering. So please look and help us in terms of tax. If you can really reduce the burden, or like you said, 3 types of audit, but I already hear you. You said that you're going to reduce, and I hope that so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for underscoring the resilience of Cambodia. It's true, we've been, in the last 4 years, challenged a lot. And thanks to the dialogue also between the private sector and the public sector, we found some ways to get out of the crisis. Still on. We still have challenges front of us, but I'm confident also as co-chair of Working Group D that we can address those challenges. And what you suggest about taxation to be softer upon us, I think we have to address the policies, because Excellency Kongvibol apply the policies, and we should lobby even more to get lighter taxes, or some more exemption for some region of the country who are still affected by the aftermath of COVID-19. Anyway, I think I have to close now our panel. I'd like to Excellency Sun Chantol want to say something. Yes.
I just want to add one in terms of ease of doing business. Okay, the CDC is in the process of finalizing the online investment registration system, and this system, when implemented, will link with other line ministry. And I'm very pleased to inform you that actually Kongvibol just talked to me just now that he will willing to link his system to the CDC system. Okay, so that's very helpful. So you don't have to run around from one ministry to the next ministry to get things done. So we will include, to keep on adding different line ministry. So the CDC will become truly a one-stop service to serve the investor. Thank you.
Thank you. Please include ACA also. ACA need to be linked with all of you, not separated. Excellency
Thank
Kongvibol.
you for a good comment for us. After a hard work, you talk about our good service also. Asking us to ease more tension on how you conduct the business, not to have many audits. Like I mentioned earlier, that we are cutting down based on SOP. Clearly, I'm sure you'll be happy. I don't know why you still facing audit, because you said you're from Siem Reap, because the government in the private sector forum on the 13th of November, they also exempt any audit in Siem Reap, or even write off your debts in Siem Reap, in terms of sector, tourism sector, and so on. So I don't know. You talk about lighting. We are working hard to collect the revenue also to improve, to give the investment for the infrastructure also, for lighting. We also have the tax on the public lighting tax, so we are working on it. So I hope that Excellency Sun Chantol and also the government will try to get some fund from the taxation to improve the lighting also. So me too, I'm having difficulty to drive also at night, especially to go to Siem Reap. It's so dark, so I hope also, because we are working hard together to collect the revenue. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Excellencies. Thank you, everyone. And then I'd like now to close our panel. Thank you.